We're going to revisit the SMC A52. I want to detach the bottom of the switch housing and see if there's any clues as how to change the speed. Between the pull fob being included in the box and the fact that it's on medium, I feel like there has to be a way to change the speeds. If it was on high by default, okay, maybe not. But for it to be on medium, it just doesn't make any sense. I did not look inside the housing when I assembled it because I didn't want to disturb 40-year-old electronics that work, and I still don't. So I'm going to see if we can maybe drop the switch cap down from the bottom. I'm not sure which of these screws are the ones that hold it in place. It's probably the other three. But we'll just take them all out and eventually the switch cap will have to come off, I would think. I just don't see why the fob would be included if it serves no purpose. Because you know a company is not going to spend extra money than what it needs to on a particular product. So if there's a part included, it most likely has got to have some purpose. I think these are threading into plastic, which is not a good sign. You know, plastic crumbs on the table now. Okay, well, with all the screws removed, it shows no signs of wanting to come off. That's unfortunate. Well, I guess we'll have to take the whole thing off and go from the top. I really did not want to do that because I really think that the issue is with the remote and not with this. I think this is in perfect working order, so I don't want to messing with it, but we've got to solve this mystery because I can't put this in the living room until I have a reliable means of controlling the speeds. And quite frankly, I'd rather use it on manual mode in that situation anyways, because I can't get a nice aesthetic low out of the remote. So I guess we'll take this off and I'll bring it downstairs and we can take a look at it on the bench where we have better lighting. Lighting in here is nice in person, but it does not seem to work well on the video. Okay, now we're going to do exactly what I didn't want to do, which is disturb working 40-year-old electronics. Those are some small screws in there. So I'm guessing this is some kind of a fire retardant material. And now we have our circuit board down in here. And it looks like these slide upwards. Maybe the whole thing just slides up and out. There's one more screw I can undo. I don't know if this is holding anything in place or not. I have no idea how this comes out of here. This seems to move on the sides, but the center, no. Does not budge. Oh, I see one more screw now. Nope, no change. What on earth is holding this in there? This is exactly why I didn't want to mess with this, because I'm sure it's not easily removed. It's probably not meant to be. And we're more than likely going to mess something up in the process. Now I think it's getting caught up on that, which I think we've released, but that still is not very interested in coming off. Yeah, this is quickly turning into a disaster, which I expected it to. That's why I didn't want to mess with it. This is not good. I just don't understand what's holding it in place. I really feel like it's this stupid thing. And of course, good luck getting this to go back in place. Okay. It did seem to be like that was holding it in place. Alright. I probably have a fair bit of capacitance in this thing, so we want to be a little careful where we touch. So we've got our reversing switch over there, and this is our manual off remote switch. So this is the one that I'm interested in. And that's the one I want to try to trace to see where the wires go to. And then, if possible, can we make a different selection? Well, I certainly don't see anything to connect that fob to in there. So it looks like the manual mode just feeds the winding power into a different spot on the circuit board. I don't see any kind of button or anything that we could use to interface with it at all. So if we take a look at this more closely, we have, it's actually it's a common, or it's a white, I don't know if it's necessarily being used as common, but there's a white and a black on each side of the switch, and then there's a green. I have no idea what the color scheme. I'm guessing maybe the green is power input to the switch, and one of them goes over here with the other green, and then the other goes over here and hooks in over here by this transformer. So this has no answer. I don't know how this board is set up. I have no schematic for it. I don't know what the color scheme of the wires is. This is very frustrating because there probably is some kind of a secret handshake to change the speeds, but the manual doesn't underscore it. The manual talks nothing about how to use the control set, and that's completely ridiculous. I think that we have learned that the electronics control is not necessarily out of the picture, though, switching it to medium or switching it to manual, because it's definitely still passing through the board. Although it's possible that it's a trace that doesn't pass the electronics. I don't know. That's very frustrating. There's nothing I can really do with this. Now I can, of course, take all this out and just put a regular capacitor in there, whatever this cap value happens to be. I can't even tell without taking it off the board. There's very little slack in here. I can't tell what value it is because the writing is behind the transformer, but what I could do is I could take this out and just put a capacitor in there that's that value, and then use a regulating wall control, which is what we might have to end up doing if I can't get that remote to work. Yeah, this is very frustrating that the manual doesn't provide any information. I don't understand what the point of that is. So we really haven't learned anything other than that this is going to be a chore and a half to almost impossible to reassemble, which I saw that coming, and that was another reason why I didn't want to take it apart. Man, I almost feel like I should just take it out and leave it out. Actually, that wasn't too bad. I think that's back in place already. I just don't understand why the manual doesn't talk about how to use the fan. It's very dumb. And what the heck is that dumb fob for? I can't imagine what that fob is for. I have not a clue. Well, this is highly disappointing, but not particularly surprising. I was hoping to see perhaps something in here that we could connect that fob to, but I am not particularly surprised that we didn't. Oh, I think that this was... Did the screws pass through that? Yeah, I think that they did. Yeah, unfortunately, more than likely, I'll just have to take these guts out and replace it. Put a regular capacitor in there and just run it off a wall control. Well, at the end of the day, this is just another reason why I don't like electronics controls. Because there's a complication factor here that need not exist. There is still a possibility that a new battery in the remote will solve our problems here. But I just don't have one on hand. I'll pick one up tomorrow when I go to the store. But you know, it doesn't change the fact that when these controls eventually break, which they will, because the capacitors will drift or resistor will burn out or something will happen in there, it's difficult to impossible to repair. Whereas if it was a basic mechanical control set, you know, at worst, you're replacing a mechanical switch, which is a very universal part. You can buy them all over the place.